In the dim light of dawn, the roar of heavy machinery shattered the quiet of Riverside Heights, Missouri. A bulldozer tore into the wooden wheelchair ramp outside Sophia's home, splintering planks and crushing the handrails that had cost her brother Alex $8,000 to build. As the dust settled, a smug HOA representative handed Sophia a bill for $200, the cost of removing the unauthorized structure. She sat there in her wheelchair, still in her pajamas, tears streaming down her face. The irony? Sophia wasn't just any resident. She secretly held the power to cut off the HOA's funding lifeline, a fact that would soon turn this petty tyranny into a statewide scandal. Alex, a rugged construction worker with calloused hands and a no-nonsense attitude, had always been the protector in the family. After their parents died in a horrific car crash 5 years ago, they'd inherited 2 neighboring houses in this upscale subdivision. Alex lived in one, fixing up homes for a living, while Sophia occupied the other. She described her job as boring government policy work, something vague about regulations and federal compliance that kept her glued to her computer. No one pressed for details. She was private like that. Everything changed 18 months ago when a drunk driver T-boned Sophia's car at an intersection, leaving her hospitalized for weeks and in physical therapy for months. The accident stole her ability to walk, confining her to a wheelchair. Determined to give her independence back, Alex built an ADA-compliant ramp at her front door. He got all the city permits, but in his haste, he overlooked the HOA's approval process. It seemed minor at the time, a simple oversight in a neighborhood obsessed with curb appeal. The trouble started with a violation notice that mysteriously went to the wrong address. When Alex finally saw it, he pleaded for a grace period, but Victor Hargrove, the HOA president, shot him down cold. Victor was a self-important real estate developer in his 50s, with a slick haircut and a penchant for power ties. He ruled the association like a dictator, fining neighbors for leaving Christmas lights up a day too long or letting grass grow a quarter-inch over regulation height. Willful noncompliance, Victor sneered, refusing any leniency. At 6 a.m. one crisp morning, the bulldozer arrived unannounced. Sophia wheeled herself to the window just in time to watch her lifeline get demolished. The fines kicked in immediately $200 a day, and then came the removal bill, rubbing salt in the wound. Victor stood by, arms crossed, lecturing her about community standards as if her disability was an eyesore. Sophia appeared shattered, but behind closed doors, she made cryptic phone calls about federal compliance and discrimination laws. Alex raged, vowing to fight back, but Victor escalated relentlessly. He demanded $3,400 in accumulated fines, threatened liens on their properties, and even reported them to the city for code violations. To bolster his assault, he brought in his lawyer buddy, Trevor, a sharp-dressed shark who bombarded them with legal threats. Digging deeper, Alex uncovered Victor's hypocrisy. The HOA president had his own deck built too close to the property line, a clear violation he'd ignored. Worse, other residents had gotten grace periods for similar issues. Friends of Victor's, no doubt. Word spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. Neighbors whispered stories of Victor's abuses. A single mom fined into near bankruptcy over a faded mailbox, an elderly couple harassed for a bird feeder. Anonymous notes appeared in mailboxes, urging rebellion. A Facebook group popped up, Riverside Heights Against Tyranny, swelling with complaints. Even a local reporter started sniffing around, interviewing disgruntled homeowners. Sophia, meanwhile, quietly assembled a dossier, documenting every infraction while fielding more mysterious calls. The tension boiled over at an HOA meeting in the community center. Victor humiliated them publicly, calling Sophia's ramp an ugly blight, and accusing Alex of being a troublemaker. Alex fired back with evidence of selective enforcement, but Victor had stacked the deck literally. He'd invited investor cronies who weren't even residents to vote, rigging the outcome. Fines jumped to $500 a day, pushing the total over $2,500. The harassment intensified. Victor had the house red-tagged as unsafe, slapped a restraining order on Alex for threatening behavior, and spread vicious rumors claiming Sophia faked her disability for sympathy. Alex's investigation revealed financial fraud. Victor pocketed kickbacks from inflated maintenance contracts, siphoning thousands from HOA funds. Neighbors fought back, installing security cameras and offering help with legal fees. One even caught Victor's goons tampering with mail to delay payments. Then came the bombshell. One evening, Alex walked into Sophia's home unannounced and overheard a video conference. There she was, addressing state officials as Governor Sophia Ellis of Missouri. His jaw dropped. She'd been working remotely since the accident, keeping her identity under wraps to avoid media frenzy. As governor, she controlled $50 million in state funding for HOAs, including $280,000 earmarked for theirs. But she wasn't just seeking personal revenge. She was building a case to dismantle abusive HOAs statewide, using their ordeal as authentic ammunition. The controversy? Her secrecy raised eyebrows. Was it ethical for a governor to play victim while wielding such power? They transformed Sophia's living room into a war room, plastered with maps of 47 problematic HOAs across Missouri. Allies assembled: the Attorney General's team, the reporter, a forensic accountant, and supportive neighbors. Evidence piled up: over $180,000 in fraud from bogus contracts, civil rights violations, and blatant discrimination against the disabled. Their strategy was multifaceted: coordinated lawsuits, press releases, social media blasts, and subpoenas. Victor, sensing trouble, grew desperate. He imposed special assessments on everyone to fund his defense, sabotaged their water line causing a flood, orchestrated a power outage during a heat wave, and hired a private investigator to dig up dirt. Smears flew. Anonymous flyers accused Sophia of corruption, claiming her government job was a front for kickbacks. The climax erupted at an emergency community safety meeting in City Hall. Victor had packed the room with allies, planning to ban the siblings permanently. He distributed flyers branding them as disruptive elements and riled the crowd with lies about Alex's violent temper. Alex took the stand, his voice cracking as he recounted the harassment, the Dawn demolition, the mounting fines, the personal attacks on his sister's disability. The room murmured uneasily. Then, the mayor stepped forward with a surprise guest, Governor Sophia Ellis. Gasps echoed as she wheeled to the podium, her presence commanding. "I've endured your tyranny firsthand," she declared, exposing Victor's harassment, funding violations, and fraud. The Attorney General's investigators served subpoenas on the spot, while federal marshals brandished warrants for embezzlement and discrimination. Victor's face turned ashen. He stammered denials, threatened lawsuits, and lunged at Sophia before security dragged him away, kicking and screaming. The controversy exploded. Was this justice or a governor abusing power for personal vendetta? The aftermath was swift and satisfying. The crowd erupted in a standing ovation as HOA board members resigned en masse. A kindly neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, stepped up as interim president. Media swarmed. Headlines screamed, "Governor's secret war on HOA tyrant," sparking debates on ethics and authority. Victor faced the music: 18 months in prison for fraud, followed by probation and $250,000 in restitution. His real estate company bankrupted, his license revoked. He slunk out of state in disgrace. The community healed. Neighbors rebuilt Sophia's ramp for free, hosting potlucks and upgrading parks for accessibility. Property values soared 12% as the neighborhood shed its toxic reputation. Statewide, Sophia's law passed amid fierce debate, mandating HOA training on discrimination and creating an ombudsman office. Critics called it overreach, arguing it infringed on local autonomy, but supporters hailed it as a shield against petty dictators. The law became a model, igniting national conversations on HOA reforms. On a personal level, Alex launched a successful business specializing in accessibility construction, turning pain into purpose. Sophia's approval ratings hit 73%, though detractors questioned her undercover tactics. Their sibling bond deepened, forged in fire. The legacy endured: a Pulitzer-nominated expose, an Emmy-winning documentary on HOA abuses, and annual neighborhood celebrations. A plaque on the new ramp read, "In defiance of tyranny," a reminder that power unchecked breeds monsters, and sometimes the victims bite back hardest.